Hey everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I will be working on September 10 on 10. I'm still trying to wrap up this project. It's slow going, which is kind of frustrating because on one of my school breaks, I printed out all of the pieces for the rest of the year, but I just have not had time to wrap up this project. But I've got September done now, and I'm using the CutShoppe kit. This was the last monthly kit that Ashley did, and I'm just using a variety of die cuts, creating almost a diagonal cluster of embellishments, because here in California it wasn't quite fall yet, but I really wanted to go with fall type colors. So I did a really big leaf. I actually wanted a smaller leaf, but I couldn't find one on my tray that's kind of off to the side. So I just went with that leaf and then a heart and an acorn and moved on to the next page, which is going to be a shot of my breakfast bowl and my book. I have a book stand that I got from Amazon years ago, and I just put my books on there and I'm able to read while I eat, so I don't have to hold the book, which is awesome. I love being able to read while I eat. That's definitely how I get in some extra minutes. I also have 3 different phone captures, and I don't know how I'm going to include those yet because they're not gonna all fit. They're just not. I have one of the quote that I posted on Instagram, another one of my notifications, and then another one that was a fun time that I wound up taking a screenshot of, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just have to decide how I'm going to do this. Am I going to do a flip up, make things a little more complicated? Am I going to trim things down? What am I going to do? So in the end, I do decide to keep things simpler, and I'm going to wind up just using 2 of the screenshots. I take the photo of my breakfast and I adhere it down, and I found, I don't even know where this was or when I made it, but it says feeling bookish. So I went ahead and added that up to the top, and also a pink paper down at the bottom. I just took a bunch of Ashley's papers in this kit and printed them on an 8.5 by 11 sheet, just little pieces of the paper, because I don't think I knew that I wasn't going to use a lot of pattern paper in this particular monthly spread. Some months I do, but this month I think I focused more on just getting it done and stamp sentiments and just getting it done. So I take the 2 screenshots that I like and I just stack them vertically. Then I use pieces of leaves that I had and just made another vertical column, and I can journal about them. Because I really do love having these screenshots from my phone because, I was working on a day in the life project from 2013, and my phone screenshots look completely different, night and day different, but it's so cool to see it and have it, and it's just interesting to see how, technology changes. I added the journaling lines and all of my leaves, and I love this idea. Maybe I already mentioned that, but I love it. Just taking your die cuts, especially the die cut up at the top with the orange. That one, I didn't know how to use it, but I was able to find a way to use it now because of this design. So I just said that I started my day off with a big breakfast and reading, and also sharing a quote on Instagram and checking my notifications. So that was obviously in 2023, so life was really different, and I was very thankful to be able to have that time to have a slow morning. Moving on to the next page, I got a photo of my son and husband in matching sports gear, and there's kind of a story behind that, so I will share that as we go. But I like making some of the photos 4x6, making them really large. It's always fun to have large photos in projects, and I knew that this one was going to be a large photo. And then I had a family photo, and I forgot halfway through making this project that I had a family photo. So you will see what I do later on to kind of fix that. I was also ridiculously excited to use this die cut of a sweater, just so excited because I didn't know if I was going to be able to use it at any point, but I was able to because they're wearing matching clothes, and I love it. So I pull the page that I'm working on, I pull it down, and I kind of want to see where I'm at with the different pages, because I know I have 2 collages of our family trip. I also have our lunch photo and my workout photo. So I wanted to see how things were going to pair together. I grabbed some die cuts to kind of toss onto the pages that would coordinate well, like I did fall faves. So I focused on brown and orange, and then another zoo page I focused more on the blues and light pinks and browns. So I tossed those die cuts on, but I still have not seen the family photo. I think I had buried it, so I had not seen it. But I'm going to make a switch, and it's going to turn out great. So I put Sunday, since this was Sunday, and then I grabbed some Carrie Bradford stamp sets. I think it's just the one that I've been using kind of throughout this entire project. It's just a basic bits of life type stamp set, and it works so well. So I stamped a good story, and then down at the bottom, I wanted to kind of do some messy stamping, and so I did always having fun. Turned out way messier, or not messier, but it was much more tilted than I liked. So I wanted to figure out a way that I could make it appear messy and also straight at the same time. And I didn't have any more paper printed out, so I decided to go with washi tape. I grabbed some red washi tape, and I had one that said thankful, grateful, and just put that right above the always having fun. And to me, that was a genius hack to not make things take longer. Like, 'cause I would have had to print more of Ashley's papers, and I don't even think the kit had a red paper. So I would have had to take more time to do that. So good job on me just grabbing some washi tape. That will work just fine. I'm going to journal lots about this particular photo, like I said, because it is kind of a special photo. So I have the app called Time Hop. I don't know if you guys have that app, but I've had it for years. And I love how it shows me photos from previous years. And on this particular day, I had just seen a photo of my husband and son in matching clothes. And so I, of course, had to recreate it. If you ask my family, I'm notorious for recreating photos. I just love it, and I am obsessed with it. So the guys went along with it and let me grab a photo, and I just really appreciate them letting me grab a photo, and I love these flashback photos. And thinking back, I probably should have included a really small photo of the flashback, but if I decide to go more in depth with this story, I can always do that in a different project and put it in like my son's album or something like that. But they were both dressed up in 49ers gear. I'm assuming that there was a 49ers game on this particular day. I don't really know. So I had used the washi tape and knew that I wanted to have some consistency within my pages. So I'm going to go back and add some washi tape to this morning page. I also added a stamp that said, read more books, I don't need you to tell me twice, and bits of life. So I take kind of a soft orange washi tape, and I'm going to put it right below the book photo, and then going vertically down the left hand side, and I love that. I'm able to hole punch through the washi tape really easy and create just a nice border, and it adds that like pop of orange color that I think I was missing. So I'm glad I went back and added in some washi. The only thing I didn't add washi to was the front cover, but I now have 2 total pages done, and I'm going to move on to the collages. I used an app called Pick Frame to make my collages, and I've talked about it several times, and I really love it, but it does not, I don't know what it does, but because I'm not like a super technical person, but it does not print exactly the size that I ask it to print. So like if it's 4x6, it's slightly bigger than 4x6. So this collage, if I had just glued it onto the page, it would have been way too big. So I had to cut it apart and then take off like the white borders, because I did think I was going to be able to get the white borders on there, but I'm not going to be able to. So I grab a white piece of paper to kind of test it out and see where I'm at. as far as trimming down, and I need to trim down so that it is a smidge less than 2 inches. And I still think the collage is going to wind up wonky, but I'm going to fix that with a piece of paper so you can't tell. And I'm going to do my photo up in the top, then my son, then my husband, and then my daughter. And that's going to work great for that particular collage. And even if it's, like I said, even if it's wonky, I'm going to fix it. I have a trick to fix it. And right now on the right hand side, you see the Fall Faves die cut. I am going to completely make this page and then realize that I have a family photo. I know I keep talking about that, but instead of panicking, I kind of pivoted and I was able to make everything work. So I have this paper right here, and I want to trim a really, really thin slice of it, almost as if it was faux washi. And I'm just going to lay it across the family photos to hide the fact that everything is kind of wonky and not lined up. And then I'll add a stamped sentiment right over the top of it, and it's going to turn out fantastic. I love it. My family loves to go up to these like measuring signs, whether it's a bear or it's a bird's wing, and measure ourselves. And I love getting all of our photos, and it's just a fun little thing that we love to do. I added a piece of this orange paper to the right hand side, and then I'm also going to add a small cluster with a brown pumpkin and then a stitched heart. I also have a large brown die cut of a leaf that's going to go in the bottom left hand corner, and it's going to be a great page to go ahead and journal on. And I love the way that I journaled about the different things that we were seeing in this particular zoo. This zoo is kind of local to us, and it's a fabulous sanctuary for animals that can no longer be in the wild, or people tried to have them as pets, which is just unimaginable. But yes, that happens. So I'm going to add a line to help myself stamp straight, and I'm going to hope that this works because I am not someone that can stamp in a straight line. That's why most of the time I pick, messy stamping. I'm stamping Love This Family all the way across, and then I can go ahead and start my journaling. I also have my scratch piece of paper so that way I can stamp on that instead of my desk, because if you guys have been around here a while, you know that I am such a messy crafter. Like, I just get things everywhere. I also wanted to try stamping on that pink paper, and it turned out awesome. I love it. So I stamped favorite moment, and you can see now that I found the family photo. I found it. So now I am going to pivot, and what I'm going to do is the family photos right here. I am going to pair that with our favorite animal, which was a lynx, and I will play off of the pink paper with like the lines on it and also the orange leaf paper. So I will add those to the lynx photo, and what I decide is just to do 2 torn pieces at the top and the bottom, and I just love how it turned out. It really added the focus that I needed on the lynx photo, but it's just something really cool to do with my photo. So I add the adhesive, but I think I got too much, so I'm going to get out my rubber adhesive remover to remove the extra. And I busted out my new backup adhesive remover, so it is this jumbo new piece of rubber, and I love it. I think I just got it from Hobby Lobby for like $4, and it is the best thing to have on hand. So I add those 2 pieces, one top, one bottom. Then I can add in some journaling lines about, so that way I can talk about the lynx, because it was definitely, like I said, our favorite, and it was the latest addition to the zoo. But a lynx cat is so cool. I've picked out various stamped sentiments that I want to use, like observations, must see this, and loving. I had observations, and that's kind of like a block stamp, so I picked a second one to go up at the top, and then loving is the same font as, or same style as favorite moment. So that way they kind of match and coordinate, and the pages can work well together. So I will eventually put must see this and loving over to the right hand side, and then observations down by my journaling block where I'm going to talk about the links. And then I will fussy cut out some of those orange leaves, and then I can move on to the next page. As you can see here, this is where I'm fussy cutting out some of the leaves, and I'm just going to hang them off the side and tuck them in, so it really doesn't have to be a full leaf. And I even take the most full leaf and put it down by observations, and I'm totally okay with the fact that it's not quite full. It's not quite a full leaf, but you can still tell. I then get out my glue pen and glue down these sentiments, and I wind up like the glue just splats everywhere. I don't know why that happens, but it happens sometimes, and so I just wind up using the glue right on the table. Okay, moving on. I'm going to add the journaling. I just said that it was family day and we decided to head down to our local zoo, and we've loved it since the kids were really little. And our favorite animal was the lynx, and it was so interesting to watch this cat. Like I said, and I've probably said it a few times, we love going to zoos. It's something that all the kids, I make it sound like more than 2 kids, but the kids can both agree on after all these years. They just enjoy being at zoos and seeing the animals. So my next page is going to be very simple with the family photo, and then on the right hand side I will have the fall faves page that I've kind of already made. Right now I'm just checking to make sure that everything is hole punched, because I tend to forget to put in the holes, and then I go to put the project back into the album and everything is not hole punched. So I grabbed that family photo and the fall faves, and I'm just going to do a bullet point of the different things that we saw in the zoo. So I just glue the photo right on horizontally, and I do want to include the vellum sheet. Every month I take the digital stamps and I add them to a 4x6 and then print it out on vellum. It's just a really fun way to use my digital stamps. I just haven't done it at this point, and then I printed it and it just doesn't look the best quality, but you will see it at the end of this video when I do a flip through of all of the pages. But like I said, I just use whatever stamps come in the kit and then just stamp it repeatedly on the page digitally, and I just love it. I love making these little vellum inserts. They're just so fun to make. Adding the journaling, and now I'm going to say that we loved seeing the black bear, or using the black bear to measure our heights. We do wingspans. We've done wingspans at other zoos, spinning and twirling coins, the prowling mountain lion, the hiding deer, and the foraging bear. So I kind of did descriptive words for each of the animals that we saw, which was really fun to include and a different way to do my journaling. And I just loved it. So the next page is going to be another collage, and I was kind of surprised that I didn't realize that I haven't done any photos, like large photos or collages on the right hand side. I just stuck with the left hand side, but that's okay. This collage turned out much smaller. I don't remember how I got this collage so small, but it fits and I don't have to trim anything. This is also the page that I decided to use kind of the softer colors in the kit. So I'm going to put feels like fall right in the middle of the collage, again, to kind of take your eye away from where the collage lines are. And that way you can just focus on what the photos are. Then using the large pink acorn. And then over on the right hand side, I had this grand plan to do multiple stamped lines and make it super fancy, and it was just not turning out. So I have the sticker fall is in the air and also the acorn, and so what I wanted to do was 2 lines above the black sticker of stamping, like all in a line. Then I wanted to do a 3rd line below the die cut and sticker, and make it look fancy. Well, it was not looking fancy. It was looking like a hot mess. So I wound up cutting that page apart and then just starting over. On the left-hand side, you saw that I added in washi tape to the top and the bottom of the collage, which turned out really awesome. I love how it frames in the collage. As you can see here, I wound up with super messy page, and I did not like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the fall is in the air, take off the acorn, and take off the washi tape, and then just reuse those 3 items and just stamp my sentiment one time and one time only. I wasn't going to try to redo it, stamping across the line anymore. I wasn't going to try to fix it, just moving on and moving forward. So I stamped out and about, and above that, signs of a new season, and then below the die cut or cluster, I stamped "This day went well." Then added my washi tape. Then we can move on and keep going forward. So I didn't think you needed to see all of that messy stamping, so I just took that out of the video. I also made the decision that since I love to end on a left-hand side, I am going to leave out the workout photo and just kind of end with our afternoon treat of a lunch with going out to Wendy's. And again, using that washi tape that is grateful and thankful. And then I found a little circle leaf die cut, and that's going to work perfect as well. I also had another clear sticker that said "Fall in Love," so I'll use that to start off my journaling. And just keeping it very simple, like I said, and just kind of ending the 10 on 10 on the afternoon. I don't think I've done that before in any of my pages, but you know what? It's my project and I can do that, right? So I'm just going to end it here and add in the journaling about how we had a fantastic family outing and we enjoyed getting this treat of a lunch at Wendy's. So now I'm going to flip through the pages. You can see I start off with the morning and screenshots, my husband and son going to the zoo, and then going to the zoo, the 4x6, and that's the vellum insert, fall faves, another collage page, and then wrapping up with the lunch. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.